I'm Jamie Morris here from South Jersey Tactical Fighting Arts. Today we're going to go over the basic clinch in our defensive tactics course. I'm going to bring my assistant out here, Mark. Alright, clinch is a close quarters range of combat. I was going to go over some very basic principles of the clinch. Now, when doing your clinch, depending on how far you are away from your opponent, you want to make sure you do clinch. You wrap your hands around his head. Now when you're clinching, you should grab the ball of his head. Put your head back. This area here. Alright, I'll show you the reason why. Come up here, please. Now, if I do the clinch at his neck, I overlap my hands. He has all of his strength of his back to pull back and pull out of this clinch. All that strength, you can see that. Now, if I grab him in the ball of his head up here, he tries to bring his head back. He doesn't have much strength. Now, when you're doing your clinch, if you're in quick reach and you happen to grab the ball of his head and still leave your arms open, you have to strike quickly to destroy the person, whether it's his groin, his hip, his thighs, his stomach. You don't really want to keep a lot of space, as you can see, when you're reaching like this. You want to be in closer. Alright, if we turn this way a little bit, when you do clinch, you want to keep your forearms and your elbows and your hands close to the ball of his head and running down his neck toward his chest. You can see here I have my forearms really close next to his neck, my elbows almost buried in his upper chest here, and my hands up on the ball of his head in the back rear side. Now, as you can see here, I have all power over his head and over his body. Basically, I can move him anywhere. We also call this dumag. In Filipino, it is the ability to control a person. So this is a big tool in our dumag program. Now you see I have this nice wrap hand over hand. My forearms are close, right up against his neck. Elbows into his upper chest, and this control. Now, the good thing about this kind of clinch here is that if I do have the ability to come off and elbow this gentleman, I still have, turn around this way, I still have control. It's almost like I'm snaking around his neck, where if I'm open like this, if I leave this go for too long, he can roll out of that. It's very easy for him to roll out. See, I'll do it again. I go to elbow him, he rolls out of it. Now, if I do a nice tight clinch, like I said, where I'm snaking my arm and hand around, I'm almost grabbing this side of his head. So if he tries to roll out of it this way, I have more control of his head. Plus I'm trying to pull his chin down to his chest here. All right? Like I said, again, if I have space, he can roll out. If there's no space, it's harder for him to roll out. And I have more time to strike him in his face. So these are very simple rules of the clinch. Pulling down, burying our knee. We can destroy with the elbow. Also, when we go into our clinch, we can also drive our head or his face down into the top of our head. It's not a motion of clenching down and hitting our head on head. We're going to be hurting ourselves. So in this case, if we clinch, we can lower our body down and drive that nose into the skull. I also have a lower level of my body driving as I pull down. Okay? So these are just basic clinch drills. We'll go over some more in some later lessons. Thank you, and have a good day.